Sex on Con Air? Does it happen? Let's talk about it. But before we talk about that, a couple of notes. Still on the borrowed iPhone because Google is evil and won't replace my Fold that was under warranty where the inner screen has stopped working. So it is what it is. Fuck you, Google. And let's move on. If you like what I'm doing, if it gives you pleasure, if you just enjoy, if you just want to show some love to someone who's experienced some dark things in his life, go ahead and like, save, share, do all of those things. And if you want to hear more, if you want to actually hear the audiobook of my memoir about my time in prison, it's called Pravity. You can at my Substack, pravity.substack.com. And at the end of this video, there will be a cheat code for you to get a free month. I just said cheat code. It's not a cheat code. It's just a code. You'll get it at the end. Watch it all the way through. Listen to me talk about sex. Enjoy it. Con Air. It is a real thing. Whether you have seen the movie, which I actually haven't. So whenever I reference it, I'm referencing it from a standpoint of like cultural awareness and not actual awareness. However, this glorious figure before you, have been on Con Air 3 times. I have. And this is how it operates. We'll get to the sex part in a minute. So what they do, and I'm going to talk specifically first about my third time on Con Air. And this is when I was leaving Beaumont and heading for Pensacola, going from a low security facility to a camp. And what they do is they come and wake you up at 4 o'clock in the morning in your cube at Beaumont. And then they bring you down to A&R, admittance, and I don't know what it stands for anymore. I used to. And they dress you out into like khaki pants and a white t-shirt with a pair of slip-on. And they give you a white t-shirt, a pair of khaki pants, and a pair of blue slip-on shoes. And then they put you on a bus, not Con Air. They put you on a bus and you ride on a bus for like 8 hours, all the way from Beaumont up to the Federal Transfer Center in Oklahoma City. And fun fact, if the Federal Transfer Center is full, you don't go to the Federal Transfer Center. You get put into Grady County Jail, which I also experienced. We'll get to that one in a minute. Maybe next episode, we'll talk about Grady. There was sex there too. So, you know me at this point. She gonna get hers. So, the thing about the trip on the bus to Con Air was that I did not get to pee before I left. And, you know, no one told me because they're not going to tell you in advance how you're going to be transmitted to the FTC. So no one told me that I was going to go there on a bus. I thought, hey, we'll be like in a plane and there'll be a bathroom because there is a bathroom on Con Air and they will let you use it. They're just real dicks about it. 3 attempts, I only got to use it once. And it wasn't on this trip. So I'm on the bus, and for 8 hours, I'm just having to hold my piss, and I have to piss so bad. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to end up pissing in front of all these men. And the thing is, there was a toilet on that bus, and I am not shitting you, no pun intended. It was a fucking plastic bucket in the back of the bus. The whole might of the United States government distilled down to a plastic bucket in the back of a bus. I held that shit. Oh, it was miserable. Miserable. But it got me laid because when I got to the Federal Transfer Center, I was like, oh, I gotta pee, I gotta pee, I gotta pee. And this dude noticed it. And I mean, look, he wasn't that hot, right? I'm gonna level with you. He wasn't that hot, but he was sexy because he was like, just a little dirty, a little scraggly, really thin, but like hard thin. And he looked like he was, as my mother would say, rode hard and put up wet, except he wasn't but about 30 years old. He was older than me. I mean, slightly older than me at the time, but like only barely. I was 29. But he looked like he was about 45. And his name, let's see, what should we call him? Let's call him Edward. Edward. Edward notices me like bouncing to pee, and he's like, are you excited about going to FTC? Have you never been here before? And I was like, no, I've been here twice. I just have to pee really bad. I have to pee really bad. And dude straight up looks down at my crotch. And I'm like, what? My gaydar is flawless. I am never wrong when I know. And I never say I know until I know. This guy did not set off my gaydar, so I did not know. And, that may just mean that he was DL and shit. You never really can tell in prison. The gaydar's just all whacked out there. So I guess I shouldn't say my gaydar is always right, because in prison it wasn't. I don't have DL radar, though, so that's a whole separate thing. I'm sure you girls got that, but I don't. So Edward ends up being in the same unit as me at the FTC. And maybe like a day later, I noticed that. And he notices me and he comes up to me and says, "So I guess you got to pee, huh?" And I was like, this dude is still thinking about my dick? I mean, it's a nice dick, but damn. And I didn't mean that in a bad way. I'm like, damn, okay. And he proceeds to tell me where his cell is. And the way they do the FTC, everybody has a 2-man cell and it's private. I mean, it's like for prison, it's like legit privacy. It's like being in the SHU, the special housing unit or lockdown. It's just you and another person in that cell from 9:30 at night or 10:30 at night until 5 in the next morning. And the door is locked. Y'all stuck. There's a shower and there's not a shower. There's a bathroom and a sink in there and no light. And if you're going to read at night, you have to be able to read from like the little lamp that's like mounted above the sink or light coming in from a window. And the thing is, when they check you for count, it's like being at Tangipahoa Parish Jail, which I've told you about before, where you could switch where you slept at night if you wanted to hook up with somebody. So like you could just trade with their cellmate for the night and no one would ever know because they don't ever actually look inside the cell. They just look through the window. Same thing at the FTC. So Edward tells me where he lives and I go over to his cube about an hour later and he, the doors are open during the day. So you can shut them if you want, but they don't lock because all the locks are controlled by a central control unit. So his door, I go in, I'm talking to him, and his cellmate comes back in. And his cellmate goes, "Oh, is this the dude?" And I'm like, "So not only are you thinking about the dick, you're talking about it? Hey, I'm here for that." And, and Edward is like, "Yeah, that's the dude." And the guy's like, "So where am I sleeping tonight?" And I'm like, "Huh?" And Edward's like, "You gonna sleep over, right?" And I'm like, yes, I am." And so his cellmate goes to my cell with me, and I introduce him to my cellmate. And I tell him, like, "Listen, this is going to happen tonight. I'm just not going to be here. This guy's going to be here in my place. Don't fucking say nothing." And my cellmate, I'm 6'3". My cellmate was like this tall. And the dude that I was switching with was 2 inches taller than me. That dude wasn't going to say nothing. Bear in mind, I did not have this shape at the time. She was much, much thinner. And but like skinny fat. It wasn't cute. So so I spent the night in Edward's cube in his cell. And I don't know what it is about DL men when they get you all to themselves. But like I get the feeling they don't hit their women like this. And I mean that sexually. I don't mean that like punch. I mean like they don't give it to their girlfriends the way they give it to you. Like this dude was, I mean, top, bottom, both was pervy and not. Like, I mean, choking me, asking me to slap him, and then wanting to cuddle. I'm like, what? What? Why can't you people be on the street like this? Which, I then later found out they are. I just didn't know where to find them at the time. Plus, I was in prison. So, hey. So the next morning comes and I leave, go back for breakfast, and then go back to my cube. And my cellmate is like, "That was weird." And I'm like, "No, bro, it was hot." And then I spent the rest of my time at the FTC rereading The Lord of the Rings and Stephen King's The Dark Tower. And I never really talked to Edward again, which is really unusual. And I'm going to say this from a non-narcissistic standpoint, but almost every guy that I hooked up with in prison, once they got it the first time, they wanted more. And, I mean, it is what it is. So it's also so stupid. It's so stupid. Straight men are so stupid. They're so repressed. They just don't know how to enjoy shit. And when they finally get something that's just liberated and enjoyable, on its merits. They don't have to do anything for it. They get addicted to that shit. I wish I had known that before prison, before meth, because then maybe I would have had a different addiction than the one I ended up getting. But, c'est la vie. Que sera, sera. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story. If you liked it, please sign up for the Substack and do all the TikToky things like, save, share. If you like these kind of stories, if you like me, if you're invested in the brand, so stupid, then check out my Substack. There's a free code right here. Love you all. Bye.